Hello, welcome to He's Hot, but Something's Off. And once again, I almost forgot to put a plug up top, so I'm recording this part separately. But anyways, in last week's episode, I told y'all that if I were to run a promo, a discount on my Patreon, you would all be the first to know. Well, that time has now come. As of today, Thursday, July the 3rd, I right now have a discount, my first ever discount for my Patreon, and it is 50% off the mid and upper tier. So the mid tier is called Magne, and then the top tier is called Opa. So for those two tiers, it is 50% off starting right now. If you go onto my Patreon, everything's going to be linked down below in the description. That discount started today, Thursday, July the 3rd, and it's going to be running until July 11th. So if you have never been onto my Patreon before, you can actually follow my Patreon as a free member. So you get a little bit of a preview of some of the stuff I post on there. So the mid-tier, Magne tier, that's really great because not only do you get the uncut episodes, the extra podcast episode I do every week, you also get all of my vlogs, especially my travel vlogs. And if you are the top tier Opa subscriber, then you also get a little shout out. You'll notice that if you watch any of the video versions of this podcast on my YouTube channel, Just Joey T, I have the little Opa shout outs at the beginning, at the end in the video. And that's one of the perks of being a top tier Opa subscriber on my Patreon. But also, the main attraction of being an Opa top tier subscriber is that you will get access to my monthly live stream. So every month, I do a live stream with my top tier Opa subscribers, purely and only for them. And yeah, so we're going to have another one for the month of July. I actually have a little poll on my Patreon so that my top tier Opas can kind of let me know what their availability is. And then whichever dates gets the most votes, I will have the live stream on that day. So if you want to join in to Patreon and check out what it is, I think this is a great time. Not only will you get access to tons of very exclusive content on the Patreon, but also you will be helping to support my YouTube channel and all the videos and content that I create. Okay, since this was recorded after I recorded the main episode, this will be sliced in, and here is the rest of the episode. Got a little bit of peanut butter. I had a little bit of peanut butter on my fingers. One of my favorite things to eat is peanut butter toast. It's just bread and peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of my favorite things to eat. And I have peanut butter, I think, every day. Actually, I have peanut butter every day because my pre-gym meal, I always have to have a snack before I go to the gym. Otherwise, like if I get hungry at the gym, it's over. I have to leave. But I'll do oatmeal with peanut butter and some sort of milk, almond milk or some non-dairy milk because it makes it creamier. And I'll put some fruits in there. Usually it's blueberries and bananas. And I'll have a coffee with it usually if I'm going to go to the gym. So, but sometimes I'll eat a meal and I feel like, oh, the meal is not enough food. So I got back from the gym like a couple hours ago. And I'll eat right after the gym. I have to eat before the gym, and I have to eat after the gym. And it's usually chicken and fries. Is that a weird combination? Anyways, it's when I'm home from the gym, like I'm tired, I'm hungry. It needs to be fast. I can't be bothered to do actual cooking right after the gym. I'm too tired and hungry for that. So it's whatever I can pop in the toaster oven. It's some sort of chicken from the fridge or the freezer. And a lot of the times it's fries. Shove it into the toaster oven. 25 minutes later, it's done. So I did that today. It's my standard like post-gym meal. But it's a good amount of protein, some carbs. And I was still hungry. So I just popped a couple of pieces of toast into the oven and had some peanut butter. So yesterday I did the same thing. And I went to the bathroom. And I just noticed I thought I had a pimple coming up, kind of where just above or like right beside my lip. I thought, oh, kind of sort of looks like a pimple. And I looked a little closer and it was peanut butter. So that was yesterday after the gym, and I had some peanut butter toast. I was like, oh no, it's just peanut butter. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, but this podcast is neither here nor there. It is almost July. Wait, hold on. This is going up on July 4th. Let me check my calendar. All the days when you don't have like school or a regular office job to go to, you really don't know what day of the week it is on any given day. Let's see. July 4th is Friday. Okay, this is going up on Wednesday on the 3rd. So tomorrow, yes, soon. Tomorrow is going to be July 4th, which is a huge holiday in the US, if you are unaware. So there are quite a few parties that are going on. A lot of people celebrate Independence Day for obvious reasons. A lot of parties going on. And I was just at at a friend's house for just like a very casual dinner. We haven't hung out in a bit, so they just invited me over just for food. Not even dinner. It's just like what they were gonna cook anyways, and they just cooked an extra plate for me basically. But they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to like these parties and that parties and things like that. And we're talking about after hours, and they're like, have you ever been to Reload? And I said, I've never been to Reload. Reload is one of the more popular after-hours parties in Los Angeles, for the gays, obviously. And I've never been there. And they asked if I had went before, and I said no. And they're like, I don't know, I just want to go to like the main party. I don't want to wreck my whole sleep schedule for like one night of partying at home, like whatever city I'm living in. If I'm traveling to go to parties or do whatever, that's like a little different. I'm traveling already, and it's like a vacation that I'm on. But I like going to the gym on weekends. The gym isn't as crowded on weekends, and I don't like it when the gym is crowded. So I always try to go on a Saturday or a Sunday. What I found out is, especially when it's mid-afternoon on a weekend, the gym kind of clears out because a lot of boys will go to the gym early on a Saturday or a Sunday before noon so that they can get on with brunch or whatever activity that they have, like normal people. But I don't go out and do a whole bunch of stuff. Gym is one of the things that I do a lot. And yeah, it's a great time to go to the gym on a Saturday or a Sunday when it's 2 p.m. It's great. I love going to the gym on a weekend. It's I just like that it's not crowded. I don't like it when the gym is crowded. Anyways, yeah, July 4th, very exciting. I won't be going to any parties, I don't think. My friends that I was at their house for dinner at, they're like, oh, you should like go do something for the long weekend. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm going to be working. Work never turns off. Work literally just never turns off. And in addition to work, I have like other stuff to do. You know, when you have a house, it's not just cleaning. Like no matter where you're living, you're renting an apartment or you own, doesn't matter. Like you have to clean once in a while unless you have a maid, but like that's not my social economical class or whatever to have a maid come by and clean stuff all the time. But as an example, one of my smoke detectors went off, and I think the smoke detector is broken, so I need to go replace it now. It was a few nights ago at literally 2 a.m. I have these smart smoke and detectors in my house, the Nest ones, the Nest Protect, and I installed them soon after I bought this place. So I've had them for like years now, and I don't know what they sound like. I don't know, what happens when it detects that something is wrong, because I barely cook, so there's never ever smoke in the house. One of the features it's supposed to have is when it starts sensing fire or smoke or something or whatever, it will give you a heads up. So it has a speaker and it has a voice that comes out. It'd be like, heads up, there's smoke in the bedroom or whatever. It's supposed to give you like a heads up instead of just like doing the alarm, so that you have a chance to like silence it or do something with the warning. I knew that it had that feature, but I never experienced it before. Okay. So anyways, I also have a bunch of Google devices. besides some smart home devices, and I always like yell at Google to like, hey, I can't say the keyword because I'm in my house. If I say it, then all the it's gonna trigger it. But you say you call it, and then you ask it to turn the lights on or turn this, or do whatever. It's a kind of smart home thing. So I'm very used to hearing Google's voice in the house. Once in a while, I'll be watching TV or something, and it will go off. One of those devices will go off, one of those smart speaker things. Even though no one's called it, sometimes it just goes off. Anyways, so I was sleeping and I had my eye mask on, I had my earplugs in, and I heard Google's voice. I got awakened by Google talking very loudly. It went blah, 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 blah. And I thought like, my first thought in this like 80% still asleep kind of state, barely awoken state, I was like, Google must have gone triggered by something, but sometimes it gets, the smart speakers, it gets triggered out of nowhere. As I got a little more awake, I'm like, wait, it's like the middle of the night? And then it starts talking again, and then I see the smoke detector in my bedroom, because you have to have one in the bedroom as code. It's like flashing yellow. So like, I freak out, I like jump out of bed, I have no idea what to do. I didn't think during that moment that there was any actual fire or danger. My only concern was to not have the alarm go off. I didn't think that there was any smoke. I didn't, even though I was just in my bedroom, I didn't know if there was like some other part of the house was on fire or whatever. But my overriding concern was, don't have the alarm go off. By now I realized, oh, it's the smoke detectors is giving the spoken heads up warning. It's trying to say something, but I have my earplugs in and everything's muffled and I didn't hear what it said. All I knew was like, it's the smoke detectors. It's saying something. I can't hear it. My earplugs are in, but it's saying something. Oh, it's like, it's giving me the warning. That means the alarm's going to go off. We need to prevent the alarm from going off. We need to like silence it. But I have no idea how to silence an alarm. But in that, when you are waking up from deep sleep because of some sort of alarm or something, like things are not processing in your head properly. You're in deep sleep. Suddenly you're waking up. You're completely dazed. You're not fully awake. I had my earplugs on, so I couldn't even hear like what was going on. So I was like, just very, very dazed, confused, not fully awake, still half asleep, jumped out of bed, all freaked out. So I eventually got awakened enough to like reach for my phone, because the smart detectors, there's an app for it. I went onto the Google app, looked it up, and then it said it had detected smoke in the office, which is my primary bedroom. It's called the office in the app. But then it also said literally a minute later in the log, it said the smoke is clearing. So I was like, okay, I saw that and I walked out of the office and there's absolutely nothing going on. After making sure, okay, the alarm is not going to go off. It was just a false alarm. And there's clearly no smoke or no signs of a fire anywhere. Went back to bed, but it was such a jarring experience that I was just like still kind of freaked out after going back to bed. Because I was like, oh my God, is this thing gonna false alarm again? Like in the middle of the night later on, like it just false alarmed just now. Is it gonna go do it again? So 2 a.m. in bed, so are like freaked out. Ironically, I'm Google searching what the F is going on and going to Reddit. And apparently these particular smoke detectors have a bit of a habit of going off at 2 a.m. A lot of people have reported at 2 a.m. I got a false alarm for like a minute and then it like went away by itself. So it's some sort of like design flaw or some weird thing or whatever it is. But I was like kind of still freaked out because, okay, it just went off at 2 a.m. Is it going to go off again at 3 a.m., at 4 a.m., at 5 a.m., whatever it was? It didn't go off again. I was able to just like get myself back to sleep and just trusting / hoping that the smoke alarm wasn't going to false alarm again until like, so I could at least get like one night's of sleep. The next day, I was just like, didn't think that much about it, was just doing my regular day. At some point during the day, I was on the Google app, and it told me that, but I have a Nest thermostat, one of the smart thermostats. And I was going to go in there and like change the temperature or do something on the thermostat. And it's the same app that monitors the smart smoke detectors. And I went in there, and then it showed that there was a issue with one of the smoke detectors, and I've never seen that before. I go into the app like almost every day for the thermostat, when you launch the app, there are two things. It shows the thermostat and it shows like this green ring as like an okay, like everything is okay with the smoke detectors. For the first time in years, it wasn't a green ring, it was a yellow ring. So I tapped on it, never seen that be yellow before. And then it said, oh, the office smoke detectors is not connected to the Wi-Fi. I was like, this smoke detector is defective. I gotta disconnect it so that it's not working properly, basically. It's never disconnected from the Wi-Fi before. It's never done a false alarm before. Whatever's going on, I like didn't want to be waken up in the middle of the night by a false alarm. But I think it's illegal to disconnect your smoke detectors. Something like that? I don't know. But you're supposed to, by law / code or regulation, whatever, you're supposed to have a smoke detector in every bedroom and also outside every bedroom. Something like that. There's some sort of housing code or rules or bylaws or whatever. So I need to go buy a smoke detector now. It's just sometimes you get these like little things that's like, I just want to I just want an easy life. I just want to have a simple life. I don't want to worry about my smoke detectors maybe going off because of a false alarm at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night and then waking me up and then freaking me out. Apparently, that's too much to ask from Google. So they also have Google has discontinued these Nest Protect smoke detectors. They just recently discontinued it like a few months ago, like earlier this year. Maybe they're discontinued because they're shit. I don't know. But one really nice feature about those detectors, which is not the reason I bought them, but something I really appreciate is that it has a little night light. So it's not super bright, and it's got a motion sensor. So if it's dark, like in the middle of the night, and you are going to the bathroom or going to the kitchen for like a drink of water or whatever, if you don't turn your regular lights on and it senses you're approaching that smoke detector, it has a little night light that comes on. It's not very bright, but it's just bright enough so that you can kind of sort of see where you're walking. So I've always appreciated that. That's very nice. Sometimes you have like in the middle of the night you wake up, you really have to pee, and you have to like go to the bathroom or something. That's actually really nice. It's just bright enough you can just see where you're going, but not so bright that it blinds you. So that's actually really, really nice. It's just annoying. It sounds like such a little thing, but it's just one of those little annoying things one of those little annoying like home ownership things. But anyways, one thing I really liked about going to my friends for dinner, obviously I did not go to my friend's place for dinner for free food, just to like completely switch topics without any sort of appropriate segue. But I didn't go to my friend's place for free food, but they offered to like, oh, come over to our place for dinner. And we just like chatted and ate and hang. And some of you already know I don't really cook. I can cook if I wanted to, but I don't. The fanciest thing I cook on the regular, again, it's just shoving stuff into a toaster oven, turning it on, coming back in 25 minutes. Rice cooker, I have a rice cooker. I eat rice all the time. I don't know if that counts as cooking. The rice cooker is cooking the rice. It's not me. You put rice and water into a pot, you press a button. I don't know if that qualifies as cooking. But my friends, they were having filet mignon, which is a little fancy for me, but like I wasn't gonna say no. They also had a very plain Caesar salad, and they had some like ciabatta bread with butter. I think for most people, that's like a pretty basic dinner. A protein, some sort of meat, you put it into the oven for however long. Ciabatta bread is you just buy it at the store. And a Caesar salad, it's not fancy. A lot of people have a side salad with their dinner, and it's not hard to make. Like you buy the salad or you buy the vegetables. They come prepackaged. You buy the dressing, you sprinkle it on, you mix it. Like it's not hard. But even that pretty simple meal, it was so delicious. It was surprisingly delicious. And I think it's not because they're super great cooks or anything. I don't know. They're not bad cooks, but they're not amazingly great cooks. They're not like into cooking. It's not some sort of activity they particularly are into. They just cook because they just cook like anyone else, honestly. But I think it was so amazing because one is not something I would take the effort to do for myself. For a regular dinner, I wouldn't go to the trouble of, let's slice up and toast up some ciabatta bread. let's put out some butter in a little effing bowl, all fancy like. Let's toss up a salad. Let's have filet mignon and put it into the oven. I'm not fancy like that, but to have eaten what most people would consider a regular dinner, I don't know how expensive is filet mignon? I don't know, but you just some slab of beef, okay? Some slab of beef. I think it was just so delicious. I think because I so rarely eat a home cooked meal like that normal people would consider maybe a pretty regular, everyday home cooked thing. Little bread, little salad, slab of beef. But it's a lot better than what I usually cook myself. So I was eating, I was like, oh, this is delicious. It was so delicious that yesterday I went online and like, okay, I'm gonna buy some ciabatta bread. I already have butter. I'm gonna buy some ciabatta bread. I'm gonna buy Caesar salad stuff. I used to eat salads quite often, like years ago, and I would, as part of my regular grocery shopping, buy some sort of veggie salad mix. And I always had some sort of salad dressing, probably some sort of balsamic vinaigrette in the fridge. And I would eat that pretty regularly. And then for whatever reason, I think I just like got bored or grew out of eating salads at home all the time. So I eventually just stopped having salads. And I got more into steamed vegetables, broccoli, carrots, like not a salad, not a leafy greens type of a thing. But after having dinner at my friend's place, I was thinking, this is so delicious. I'm going to try to recreate some of this myself. So I went online grocery shopping, and I got Caesar salad dressing. I got Caesar salad, like the packaged salad. And I didn't get croutons, but I did get shredded Parmesan cheese. Because I actually love Caesar salads, but I very rarely eat it. It's if you go to a restaurant and whatever entree I get happens to come with a side salad, and one of the options is a Caesar salad, that's probably the only time where I will have a Caesar salad. And I don't eat out that much, honestly. And I got some ciabatta bread. I actually got some ciabatta bread that is IBS friendly. The salad dressing, so I was doing all this online shopping, put the order in to be delivered this morning. It will get delivered, and I'll have it for tonight. It's afternoon as I record this. They delivered everything except for the salad dressing. And the whole reason I did the online grocery shopping was to get this particular salad dressing because I wanted some slightly healthy. I know it's such an effing Los Angeles gays thing, right? It's such an LA thing. I wanted some slightly healthy, lower calorie Caesar salad dressing. So I was on the app, and you can buy Caesar salad dressing anywhere. They sell it everywhere. For like $1 or $2, the regular stuff. But I wanted this like slightly special kind that was a little healthier, but like a lot less calories. So that was the only reason I did the grocery order. I was thinking, well, if this was the only decent way to get it, I'm gonna start order the other stuff I want to buy, like the ciabatta bread and the lettuce or whatever, just at the same time instead of going to a grocery store after the gym like I would usually do. So I did all that. Everything came this morning. They delivered everything. The way it works is I just have them leave it at the door. I don't greet people at the door. I just let them leave it at the door. And then at some point after they deliver it, whenever I feel like getting off my ass from my desk or my couch or whatever, I'll open my door and, they're right outside my apartment door and I just bring it in. The first thing I noticed was, as I was unpacking, it's like, there's a bag of Tostitos, like corn chips, in here. Tostitos corn chips in here. And I'm thinking, did they substitute something I ordered because it wasn't available for Tostitos? And I'm thinking, I didn't order anything where anyone would. I didn't order chips. I didn't eat nothing I ordered could have caused them to substitute Tostitos for it. So I was like, I'm packing everything. Okay, we have these corn chips. Everything else was fine. So I go on the app and looking at all the stuff that I ordered. Okay, got this. oh, they didn't deliver the Caesar salad. The one thing I had done the grocery delivery order for, like the start, if it wasn't for that salad, I would have just picked up everything at the Trader Joe's after the gym. You can get romaine lettuce anywhere. You can get Parmesan cheese everywhere. So the one thing I wanted them to deliver, they didn't deliver. I think what happened was the delivery driver, I'm sure they do multiple orders in a trip. It only makes sense. He or she, that person, I don't know who they are, that person probably brought the wrong bag out of the car with my order. So I got someone else's Tostitos, and either the driver had delivered my Caesar salad dressing to someone else, or she, at the end of her trip, she's probably like, I have this extra Caesar salad that I should have delivered someone, but I didn't, and it's just still in their car. By the time I thought about, oh, maybe I can contact the driver and let her know, because it was only 5 minutes after I got the alert on my phone that the order was delivered before I was working on something on the computer. So I didn't get it right away, but it was only like barely 5 minutes between getting notification that said the order's delivered and when I went to my door to grab it. And I thought, oh, I can go on the app and try to call the driver and let them know, hey, you might have given me someone else's chips, but I didn't get my, salad dressing or whatever. But that option had gone by then. I guess like once it's delivered, I guess the little call button goes away. But yeah, so that was the one thing I wanted to order. The one thing I want delivered didn't get delivered. But it's fine. I picked up some Caesar salad dressing from Trader Joe's. I was in the Trader Joe's. It's the Trader Joe's I go to all the time. I go there every other time I go to the gym. I go to Trader Joe's because I always pick up groceries, little bit of groceries at a time. And it's stuff that is perishable, like chicken or bananas or eggs or whatever. I gotta, buy groceries every so often. I buy a little bit of groceries. So 2 or 3 times a week, I'm usually at the Trader Joe's. I swing by the Trader Joe's really quickly after the gym on my walk home. So today, I didn't really need to buy anything. The only thing I needed to buy was the Caesar salad dressing that didn't show up in the online grocery order. And I was in there, I never try to buy I never try to buy salad dressing at this Trader Joe's. And I'm standing in front of all of the salad dressing on the rack. I found really quickly where all the salad dressing was. And there was one specific type of Caesar salad dressing I wanted, was the vegan one. I was looking, it's like, it's not there. And long story short, I was in there for like 15 minutes before I found where that vegan Caesar salad dressing was. It was right beside the salads. So not all the salad dressings together. They have a section where most of it is, that is nowhere near the fridge where the vegetables are. And then where all the vegetables are, including the prepackaged salad mix, there's a tiny little section that has the 2 or 3 different vegan salad dressings. But it took me 15 minutes to find it. I had that thing where I was too proud or whatever to like ask someone. I was like, I can find this myself. If it's in a store, I can find it. It's like a very like guy thing to do sometimes. Like how do you say guys don't ask for directions? I don't ask, I just use Google Maps and that's never been a problem. But if it's something in a store, I always feel like I can find it. I don't need help. I don't need to ask someone. I can find it. 15 minutes later, walking around a store for 15 minutes. It's not even a big store. It's not a gigantic Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's don't tend to be super big anyways. But yeah, I spent 15 minutes to buy this one little bottle of thing. So there you go. All right, well, I hope you found some sort of entertainment out of this. Me being too lazy to cook a half-decent meal for myself. But we're trying to rectify. We're going to rectify that tonight. We're going to have a side Caesar salad, and I'm also going to have some ciabatta bread as like a dinner roll with butter. I've got some vegan butter. We talked about me getting completely freaked out by alarms. I think when I was younger, when you were back in, if you're super young, you will know this. Back in the 90s, sometimes TV channels would do that, like this is a test of the emergency alert system or whatever. You remember those for people who are like older millennials or older than that? If you're like Gen Z, I don't think you've ever had any sort of, they don't do that on Netflix. But back in like the 90s, for example, when you had just regular TV channels, but people had cable, okay? Once in a while on the channels, during one of the commercial breaks or something, they would suddenly have this like, oh, this is a test of the emergency alert system or whatever it's called. And then it would just be like, beep, beep, whatever the beep was. But I think I got really freaked out of alarms from that because I think maybe like when I was really young and I was like watching TV all by myself and it was like dark and alone at night or something, and then that suddenly came on, and I think I have this like core memory or whatever of it being like a really scary experience. So that was the smoke alarm thing was triggering, I think, because of that. Anytime like an alarm or something like that in my house goes off, like a car alarm is it doesn't matter, but like if it's something in my house that suddenly it's like that kind of like high pitch alarm type of a thing, it becomes out of nowhere. Especially if it's 2 a.m. and I'm suddenly awakened by it, I just get like super freaked out and I get really triggered. So I think maybe that's explains a little bit why I was so like freaked out when I thought the smoke alarms were gonna go off. It wasn't because I thought there was a fire. That did not come into my head at all. That, oh, maybe I'm in danger. It was not that. It was like, oh my god, the alarm's gonna be so scary. There you go. I should probably wash the peanut butter off of my hands. I will go do that now, but please stay subscribed. We will be back again next week after the July 4th holiday. And until then, bye y'all.